Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing?
We hope you're doing well.
First and foremost, we want to apologize if there's any background noise right now. It's new student orientation day, and we went to school because we were scared that at our houses the Wi Fi will cut off or anything. Yeah. So, we're both seniors at GIS, and we're both also officers of a club called Food Flip, and we decided to join because of our passion for social impact.
Next slide, please. So to give a brief overview of our presentation, we will first be introducing Food Flip and our mission to eradicate food inaccessibility in Indonesia. We will also be presenting ways at which specific activities helped contribute to achieving this mission. This includes the integration of private sector businesses within our service-focused organization, and we will end with a Q&A session. So, what is Food Flip? Food Flip is a club that endeavors to feed Indonesia's marginalized youth and eliminate food waste in the process. So, Food Flip uses technology to unleash the potential of wasted food in a cost efficient manner. Our aim is to develop processes and connections to deliver otherwise wasted foods from national grocery retailers such as Ranch Market, Family Mart, Bread Life, and Monami to orphanages. So our focus this year will be separated into two areas, the first being technology and the second being management. So for technology, we will continue to develop computer and mobile applications, as well as computer programs to streamline and expand our operations.
For management, we will focus on media and public relations, including fundraising, websites, networking, and orphanage visits. Since we are a 100% non-profitable organization, the sustainability of our initiative relies on the good spirit of retailers who continue to distribute slowly perishing foods and students who share our dream of a city free of food wastage and hunger. The reason behind why Food Flip started was because of the intensely alarming rate food waste and malnutrition is increasing in Indonesia. Some statistics, which became our drivers towards this initiative, is the fact that around 13 million tons of food are wasted every year, and this could feed 28 million people. Indonesia is the world's second largest food waster, bringing almost 300 kilograms of food per person each year. With the growing number of food waste, ironically, 7.6% of the Indonesian population suffer from malnutrition.
So, as you can see from these statistics, it definitely provided a sense of urgency. So, Food Flip focused on curbing these pressing issues by advocating for the provision of food to poverty stricken Indonesians and be more mindful of our food waste. So, this advocacy followed through by posting the conventional steps that can be taken to not waste our food. So, this includes distributing leftover foods to security guards outside a restaurant or distributing these foods to taxi drivers. However, the small scaled impact for such a substantial issue in Indonesia negatively impacted our mission. So, we wanted to make a larger difference by interacting with firms who share a similar mission and have the reputable nature of enhancing their corporate social responsibility. Next slide, please.
The growing importance of maintaining a good corporate social responsibility inspired us to approach national grocery retail chains to help us expand our operation and start the process of accomplishing our mission, just like Mansi said. We approached these brands by first emailing them. We emailed several grocery retailers and we were really patient in waiting for a response. It's normal to expect them to not answer in such a fast manner because of their organizational tasks, but upon receiving answers from Ranch Market and Family Mart, we visited the store and sat to discuss their service oriented mission and what contribution they can make to help us alleviate the food inaccessibility issue. It is important when trying to approach brands to be mindful of whether these brands have a correlation with your overall service project, just like our retailers are part of the food industry and are as committed to taking action for food insecurity.
Next slide, please. So FoodFlip partnered with these brands by focusing on four main branches. These include finance, marketing, technology, and management. So let's first discuss finance. Considering that all foods distributed by the grocery retailers were provided for free, our only form of expenditure was for transportation services from the store to the orphanage. So we fundraised for these by simply publishing bank transfer information on our social media platforms and receiving monetary transactions as a result. And one thing we want to say is that this may not be a very sustainable method of collecting funds. So if you were thinking of performing something similar, a possible alternative in this scenario could have been requesting the retailers to set up a donation box in their stores so customers can voluntarily make a contribution.
With regards to marketing, our most popular social media platform to circulate information is Instagram. At the end of each month, we make sure to post a picture with a summary of all the quantitative details of our deliveries. This means that there are statistics on the total pieces of bread we distributed that month and kilograms of fruit or vegetables, as well as the number of orphanages who received those donations. One way to establish our credibility would be to repost any pictures or videos that our grocery retail partners post on their page about the partnership, and any orphanages who post about their thankfulness to us for donating these foods. Other suggestion we would share is to just constantly give updates to your followers, either reminding them about your organization's purpose or posting pictures of your orphanage visit, or even sharing quotes to not only help them understand the severity of the food inaccessibility issues, but to also inspire them to join and make a difference. I also want to add that having a social media in a way is kind of like a portfolio for your audience and your the businesses that you want to integrate as part of your service. So having a good social media account really helps.
Enhance the organizational
Yeah.
structure and just what you aim to accomplish in the near future. So, the technology team is working tirelessly on launching an app that can help streamline our operations. So, the aim of this app is to record all deliveries in an accurate format, provide direct communication between the suppliers, which is the grocery retailers, and the recipients, which are the orphanages, so that they can immediately notify the retailers when their foods are finished and deliveries can be promptly processed. And lastly, it's to automate the process of selecting when and who receives the donations.
The management team overlooks this entire process. We ensure that newsletters are written at the end of each month to be shared with the retailers to maintain a professional and good relationship with them. If your organization has good management, not only does it benefit the operation of your whole initiative, but also appeals to companies and businesses who you want to involve in your organization. Essentially, these four pillars management, technology, marketing, and finance are the key components to having a well structured and long lasting organization.
So, the key results of our contributions from 2019 was that we were able to donate 70,976 pieces of bread, distribute 515 kilograms of fruits and vegetables, and all of these were received by 44 orphanages.
And in January 2020, which was our most successful month as of this year, we distributed 9,623 pieces of bread, 71.34 kilograms of fruits and vegetables, and we delivered it all to 38 orphanages.
So this is how you can integrate your business, private sector businesses into your service project. So to those of you who intend to start a similar initiative, make sure you have a clear organizational structure. So this means having a clear purpose and mission so that you can showcase your commitment to your service project and spread that desire to foster change to others and encourage them to join. Another important element is keeping an organized social media account because this is essentially a portfolio for your networking partners, like Jennifer earlier said. So you never know when you're going to be approached, and we are going to be discussing this shortly, but you should always be open to opportunities for expansion. So make sure your social media platform can help you take advantage of these opportunities and be positively impacted by them.
Maintaining a professional relationship with recipients and suppliers also represent an important element for us because for us we did this by writing newsletters with formal languages and inserting pictures of the activities we have performed to remind our partnering retailers on how much we have accomplished through their contribution. An organized managerial system is a key component to upholding this relationship. The department, which are just as important, include finance, marketing, and technology to ensure that your organization is long lasting. Finally, always be keen to grow. In our case, irrespective of how helpful our partnerships have been, we still try to create larger social impacts by implementing a technological system where efficiency, communication, and preparation is improved. Not only that, but when we participated in our school's care package campaign, we were able to collaborate with other community service organizations and contribute to group efforts by collecting 50 liters of oil, 50 kilograms of rice, and 50 cans of meat, and distribute those to a total of 60 orphanages.
So in the near future, we plan to expand our organization to different locations. As of right now, we are only focusing on areas around Jakarta, and we hope to expand to different locations around Indonesia as well. So our first step into accomplishing this next goal is to build more connections with suppliers outside of Jakarta and to have more relationships with different orphanages that are in dire need of help. When employing these suggestions within your service organization, which partners with private sector businesses, you can achieve nearly anything because a clear focus also has clear outcomes. Thank you. Do you guys have any questions?
I hope that we're clear. If you guys have any uncertainties about our business plan, please message us and we'll clarify it to you guys.
Yeah, Roberto, could you maybe link their contact information in the chat? Just because it was off the slide really quickly, just put it in the chat so people can, people can save it for later.
So someone asked, how long has it taken to get to where you are now? We actually joined the organization in our sophomore year of high school, which was 2019, but they were established in 2018 and they've been working with these brands since 2018. So it has been an ongoing performance and accomplishment, and we're still working with them, and our outcomes have been as successful as they were when they just started. So they're showing their commitment and we're showing our commitment, and it's just more fruitful because of that. Do you have anything to add?
And because we are trying to expand through the use of technology, it also helps us expand and not just maintain where we are since 2018, but also grow from that period.
Any questions that you guys have, just put it into the Q&A box that's at the bottom of your screens.
I have a question. I'm so sorry that I can't write in the Q&A box for some reason. I would like to know, do you know Emmanuel? Yaya-san Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is he still functioning?
They are. They are, because we worked with them, like they're one of just the service partners, and for the care package campaign, we actually donated some of our foods, and just the collaborative student-led organizations were able to collect like worksheets or fruits and vegetables, and we donated to them as well.
Excellent. Great. Good to know it's still going.
There's a couple more questions in the Q&A box.
So could you explain more about how the app works? So okay, we want to apologize because we're actually not part of the technology team. We just oversee them. But what they're working on right now is streamlining the operations by using, which software do they use?
Basically, essentially, the app is going to look, if anyone knows what Gojek is, I'm so sorry for the people who are in Singapore. I don't know. You guys
it's just a multi-service app. Like they can deliver food. They have a Go Medicine app. They have Go Shop or Go Send from like local areas.
Essentially, the app is supposed to make the delivery between retailers and the orphan recipients much more efficient and easier, because as of right now, we handle all the operations ourselves as a team, and with an app, it could be more efficient because it's immediate.
And also just our collaboration with Gojek was very cost ineffective. And so we wanted to stop that collaboration and we just wanted to do it ourselves. And we figured that doing it ourselves was actually hard. So we realized that an app was necessary to like have accurate descriptions of how much we've delivered and who needs the deliveries most promptly.
So there are a lot of questions about retailers. So one person asked, do the retailers give you free food? Yes. And how do you reach out to new retailers? We would suggest first, like we said, maintain a professional relationship. Some retailers are gonna say no. And although it's harsh to hear a no, you just have to accept it and try other retailers. One thing that we could recommend is first, be professional in your email. Obviously, don't talk to them as if you're talking to your friend. This is someone, the business is someone that you're trying to impress. So share like the statistics, your vision, your mission, your overarching goal for what you're trying to do, and yeah, and make sure that the business that you're trying to integrate um, aligns with your message. So, like we said before, we partner with Ranch Market because they dealt with food. If we were to partner with Adidas, that wouldn't make sense because they're a clothing brand and we're trying to eliminate food waste.
Yeah. So someone asked, what do you use the donations for? So we've only used donations when we wanted to do the care package campaign. Other than that, we just use donations to help our transportation fees because that's our only form of expenditure, because our foods we get for free from our retailers because that's their otherwise wasted foods if they wouldn't have given it to us. And our transportation fees are also not that high.
Yeah.
Because we try to find, because the retailers have different franchises around Jakarta, so we find the closest franchise to each recipient, and then that just makes the transportation fee much lower than it could be.
What are some key points when establishing a management team? One thing that you should find when trying to build a team that was going to run your business is to have integrity and determination. Those people need to have a sense of they want to do it. You don't get people who are just lazy and who are just trying to pass by. You need to find people that also aligns and are passionate with what you're trying to do.
Do the retailers solely work with you, or do they also work with other schools and organizations? So we're actually not too sure about that, because we reached out to them instead of they reaching out to us.
Mm-hmm.
And because we reached out to them, like, we just wanted to have their assistance in helping this impact be of larger scale than it could have been. And in terms of, do they work with other schools and organizations, they might, because some other schools will have a club that want to alleviate this issue.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Yeah, so hopefully they do.
Yeah.
Do you generally reach out to retailers, or do they also reach out to you from looking at your social media? I think both, yeah. We got Bread Life and Monami from our social media, like they reached out to us, but Ranch Market and Family Mart, we reached out to them. They were the first few retailers that we reached out to. And Ranch Market at first said no.
Yeah.
But we went to their headquarters and we just talked about like what Food Flip endeavors to achieve, and our mission, and whether they aligned with what we wanted to do. And they were interested because they had a lot of foods which they disposed like before the expiration dates. And we realized, like, if they were to do that, like, why can't they just donate it to us and actually help people with otherwise wasted foods?
So I have a question. Since you guys are both seniors, what are the most important things that you want to pass on to those who are below you, or those who are like younger than you?
I think the sense of passion that we both have, we're both very passionate on eliminating food waste because we both see it as a very urgent issue in Indonesia. And to our next upcoming officers for Food Flip, we also want them to have the same determination, the same drive for change in Indonesia.
Yeah.
I'd also like to ask a question. So when Food Flips started, I remember it was a few years ago now. What do you know what exactly were the things that the two founders needed to just get this running, get it off the ground?
I think they needed partners because that's where they get food. So what they did was they emailed, like we said, they had a professional relationship. They gave them their idea. They had a business plan. So yeah.
And to have an example, they actually worked with Triputra in the beginning, and that's also a group which alleviates this food and accessibility issue. So they went to work with them to just learn their operations and what they could do to further help that impact, you know. So they were able to learn from them and just use those ideas within their organization and expand it even more with these private sector businesses.
I think it's important if you guys are trying to start up organization is to have some background experience, so you know how things work and how the management goes. You know, in your school, I know in JES there's a lot of CAS opportunities and there's a lot of service clubs. So we joined some service clubs and we tried experimenting with the management team, so we know how to manage our own club.
I have a question. Do you have an adult sponsor, um, advisor, or someone that's with you in your club?
We have an adult advisor. It's just a club advisor,
Mhm.
and he just makes sure like our Instagram has appropriate pictures, our newsletters are sent on the specific deadlines, because we make sure we tell him that like we have these deadlines, and if we were to not remember them, he could remind us. Or just having these orphanages in contact and having WhatsApp group chats, like he's also part of the WhatsApp group chat to make sure that like we don't just dismiss them,
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay. 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 Great. And how old is your club?
It is
Food Flip.
almost 3 years old.
3 years. So you guys initiated it.
No, we joined the club in
Joined it.
2019, but
Uh-huh.
it started in 2018.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So the longevity, how many kids are involved?
I mean, we're handling 40 orphanages right now, so
Mm.
a lot
How
of
many?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how many of you guys, just kids, are
Oh,
involved in managing Food Flip and members?
Wait, there's freshman level. 6
Um,
officers.
if we're only counting there's 6 officers and there's 10 just
Just members. So
Yeah.
16 in total.
Great. You guys work hard. Is it hard during COVID?
Yes, it's hard because part of the management team is not only to like keep contact with these orphanages, but also visit them, to like monitor them, to just like spend time with them, and maybe even visit the retailers to make sure that like they like all the foods are being sent, and just make
Mhm.
sure it's efficient. But now we can't do that. We either use Zoom or just chat with them, which is not as nice as it used to be.
I think
But
it's also hard because we can't have that orphanage visits. We can't see the kids one-on-one
Yeah.
like we used to. So if like even though like we love what we're doing, it would be better if there's this one-on-one connection so we can see our contributions and the effect it has.
Absolutely. So kudos to you guys for keeping up the food delivery, even though you can't build those relationships with the needy kids.
thank you.
Yeah, well done.
So during COVID-19, have you guys had to change your model at all, or has it just been about changing operations and communications a little bit?
Really just changing communication and operations, because there was not much that we had to change, considering like we had the app, we had the WhatsApp group chats, we had all these orphanages that we knew we wanted to help. And I think at the end of the day, it just came to the fact that we needed these donations to be sent at the perfect time, and that could happen with or without a disease. Hopefully the disease goes away soon so we could help, like go and visit them and see the one-on-one connections that Jennifer said.
Yeah.
May I ask, what are you guys planning for the future? I assume that you've applied for university.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what do you want to study? And where do you want to go?
I wanna study corporate finance, but minor in like social impact and responsibility or something of that nature.
I
Mhm,
want to study economics.
mhm. Very good. So you truly are business women. But the corporate responsibility part is absolutely vital.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Especially in this generation, I think.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. So you'll take that into the business world, and the business world will be better for it.
Hopefully.
Someone asked if we could send the slideshow. We could.
I'll just share the link right now.
Does anyone have other questions if about our business and how we run them, or do you have any questions about like your business and how you can expand it more?
Well, we're coming up at the time mark, so maybe a couple, just maybe like one final question or one final message if no one asks a question.
I think that's it. If no one else have a question right now, it's fine. You guys can always email us. The email is on the chat below.
Yeah, thank you, Roberta, for doing that.
Yeah, please feel free to email us. We'll help you as much as we can, as best we can. We're still also learning at this point, so we'll help each other learn.
There's always room for improvement,
Yeah.
and we can help each other with that.
Okay.
All right, thanks everyone. Can we give a round of applause for our speakers? I mean, we can't see you,
Thank you
but
so much
we'll
for
see you.
coming.
Thank you for joining. Have a good rest of your day.